pace with control of this race. Here comes a run from Davey Hazard. He blocks the 10. Not going to be enough. Ryan Pace is going to win at Talladega.
Curry trying to hold off Wilson. He's done a good job so far. Wilson, one last desperate attempt to the bottom. He won't get there. Nick Curry wins at Bristol.
Coming out turn number 2, coming down the back straightaway here. Looks like he's in a class of his own right now.
Merzlak, one final time, get around the 55, big time send.
He hits the wall, he hits it, he gets the lead, but can he hang on to it? Oh my goodness, he made it to the line!
Big push down the backstretch is going to give him a good run through the corners.
Just a little bit
follow from the one.
A little bit of contact there for second, but coming to the line, Toby Roberson's going to take home the checkered flag and victory here from the new Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Before I wrap things up here in this segment, your thoughts on the type of race we're going to see tonight? And I would have to agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to tonight's feature presentation in the HOBO Racing Truck Series live from the Nashville Superspeedway right here only on JTN. So glad you're joining us here tonight from just outside of Nashville. My name is JoeTowNetwork. I'll be your host here this evening as we watch the tough truckers of the HOBO Racing Truck Series take on the 1 1/3 mile Nashville Superspeedway here tonight live on JTN. This, of course, is your Auto Sim 2 race preview. Remember, Auto Sim 2 is now available on Steam. Encourage you to go check it out. It's the premier motorsports text-based simulation game. All the fancy stuff, make it your own. It's Auto Sim 2. 1 1/3 around this concrete super speedway here in Tennessee. 94 laps for these truckers here tonight. Qualifying currently underway. Those results will start to trickle across the tops of your screens at home in mere moments. But glad to be back here tonight with our friends at HOBO Racing for some Truck Series action. These trucks always put on a good show. We've called a couple of these races in the past right here at the Nashville Superspeedway. This is one of my favorite tracks to race on just because you have a little bit of maneuverability. You're going to see a dominant line here tonight for these truckers. Of course, open setup as always here in HOBO Racing. So you'll see that dominant line throughout the race. We'll make notes of it, but wouldn't be surprised to see some guys maybe getting down on the white line at different parts of the event, maybe navigating their way up to that middle groove. Probably not all the way up next to the wall, but we'll just have to wait and see how the race shakes out. Again, those qualifying results starting to trickle in there at the top of your screen. So we'll take note of those here. But yeah, going to be a fun time here tonight on JTN with our friends at the HOBO Racing League for their Truck Series action at the Nashville Super Speedway. A lot of stuff going on at the Nashville Superspeedway right now, too. If you're tuned in here to start, NASCAR Cup Series action is currently trying to figure out how to finish their race. So that is ongoing at the moment as well, so we apologize. We'll keep you filled in. Not on what's going on there. Don't want to play spoiler to anyone that's watching that maybe is recording the end of it for later, or maybe you don't want to hear the news from me, but looks like qualifying is coming to an end. Jeff Stakena is going to be on pole tonight, it would appear, in the number 31 Chevrolet. Fugate going to be to his outside. Dan Rubino and Steve Rubino looks like they're going to roll off on row number 2 with Steve Grant rounding out your top 5 provisionally here tonight, again, as the qualifying session comes to an end. So, truckers rolling off here. I'm going to get a quick snapshot of our starting lineup for you folks so I can read it off to you. Looks like I may have lost connection. I did lose connection to the server, so it's a good thing I got those results for you. Starting on pole tonight, it's going to be the 31 of Jeff Stakenis. Outside of row number 1, again, it'll be the 9 of Fugate. Row 2 is going to be the 44 of Dan Rubino and the 07 of Steve Rubino. Row 3 here this evening is going to be the 11 of Steve Grant and the 41 of Josh Boyer. Row 4 is going to be the 10 of Randy Smith and the 25 of Ron Simpson. Row number 5 will be the 28 of Keith McLean and the 85 of the birthday boy, Ricky Bumbalo. On row 6 tonight, the 59 of Duke Sorensen and the 49 of Irv Johnston. Row 7 tonight will be the 69 of Mike Erickson and the 14 of DJ Hinsky. Row number 8 here this evening is going to be the 6 of Rich Knappich and the 78 of Ryan Johnson. Last car to take a time is the 77 of Daryl Johnston with Herman Reese in the 73 and Rob Heath in the 7, rounding out your field of 19 here tonight from the Nashville Superspeedway. All right. So again, we'll get things underway here in a few moments. Again, looks like I'm having a couple issues, but I think you guys out there in viewership land can still hear me. Wondering if our friends at HOBO are having some issues here tonight. That's why we've been disconnected. It is a fine evening for racing in Nashville, isn't it? Oh, we're all good there. Let's go ahead and get back connected, folks, so we can get some information on your screens at home, because I'm sure you're waiting for it. Get some trucks out on track here in practice. We can talk about those lines. Again, unforeseen technical difficulties here to start the evening. Not the way we wanted to start, but hey, we're here. We're gonna go racing tonight. We're gonna be live with them for 94 laps this evening. I don't know why we had those issues. That was very weird. All right. We have reestablished connection. There we go. Let's see. There's our pole sitter down on pit lane right now, getting some tires. One of those Goodyear Wranglers. I'm just gonna get off track, not give away the secret. Steve Grant there in the number 11 for Team Speedland. It's a Lexus here this evening. I didn't realize Lexus made a pickup truck. Or, as a good buddy of mine would call them, pick-em-up trucks. Go for a little looper there. Probably didn't want us to see that bit. Really fun camera shot right here in the grass. Rich Knappich in the number 6 tonight, starting out towards the back of the field. This Maker's Mark Ford. Wait and see if he can mount a charge to the front. 6 truck always strong here. Saw Bino down the back straightaway there. No grass on the back straightaway at this version of Nashville, despite the current having it. Randy Smith there in the number 10. Motorola Trick Phone Chevrolet. And happy hour coming to an end here. Herman Reese there in the Cadillac. I know Cadillac made that. They had like an Escalades truck at one point. Like the old Ford Explorer Sport or Sport Track, I think it was. Just an SUV with a little truck bed on the back. I think the Cadillac, I don't think it was an Escalade. It might have just been a Chevy Avalanche rebadge. You know, get your fancy pickup truck. Now they're all fancy. I digress. Drivers being called to their trucks as we wait the command to get engines fired here for 94 laps for the Nashville Superspeedway.
Drivers, start your engines!
So we get the command and engines are fired here. Again, it's going to be Jeff Stukenis rolling off on the pole in the number 31 Chevrolet with Pugate to his outside, the number 9. Row 2 is the Rubino brothers. Danny in the 44 going to line up in third with Steve to his outside in fourth. Steve Grant and Josh Boyer make up row number 3 with Randy Smith and Ron Simpson in row 4. And rounding out your top 10 tonight, on the inside, Keith McLean. On the outside, birthday boy again, Ricky Bumbelow. All right. Yeah, 94 laps tonight from this mile and a third racetrack here just outside of Nashville, Tennessee. These truckers, they are going to be going for it. It's going to be a fun one. Strap in, sit tight, as we get ready to go racing here from the Nashville Superspeedway. Pace truck is in, field at the command of Jeff Stukenis. Green flag, and we are racing from the Nashville Superspeedway. Stukenis with a good jump there in the 31. Fugate going to get through into second. See, everyone really just getting single file right now. Boyer started 6th. He was able to get the jump on Steve Grant and fall into 5th. A lot of these truckers sliding up the racetrack a little bit there off of turn number 4. First battle for position here between Ricky Bumbelow and Ron Simpson. This for the 7th spot. Simpson shuts the door there on Bumbelow. Keith McLean now going on by Randy Smith for 9th. Smith will fall into 10th. Now get a good run here. Tried for a crossover. Wasn't able to make it work. You'll see that throughout the night. Again, we talked about the differing lines that these truckers are able to take here around this racetrack. Let's single file here for the time being from the Nashville Superspeedway. Caution out for the first time here tonight, and it looks like we are losing connection once again. I don't think we're going to be able to show you folks what happened here. We're going to try to get that remedied. apologies for all these technical difficulties we are having here to start the night. Get these remedied. Again, apologies, folks. I don't know why we're having this issue. Well, won't be able to see what caused that first caution, so again, apologies, folks, for the issues we're having there. But we will get back to the track. I have no idea why we're having this issue, though. I apologize. Well, while we work through these technical difficulties, I'd like to remind you we got more great racing action coming up here on JTN. We're with our friends at Fuel on Wednesday night, July 11th at Phoenix. Also have the ASR's Autry Waits Memorial coming up in a few weeks on Sunday the 14th. Those races and much, much more, of course, are all going to be live right here only on JTN. As long as we can get things straightened out here. Again, have no idea why we're having issues. We're trying to get those sorted for you. Apologies. This is show business, apparently. Again, apologies, folks, for all of these issues that we're having here tonight. Unfortunately, I don't have a co-commentator, so I can't tell you what's going on track right now. Which is a big shame. And we're working to try to get things reloaded and rebooted. I keep saying that over and over again. Hope everyone out there is having a good Sunday night. Hopefully better than what we're having here on JTN. There we go. We are back in. We have probably missed a significant portion, so we'll try to catch up with you folks. As they are back going green here at the Nashville Superspeedway. Our graphics package is not reloaded, so we're going to try to stay with the action here. We don't miss any more of it. All right. And folks, apologies. This is not good on our part. Okay.
Drivers, to your cars.
There we go. All right. We are back. There we go. Jeff Stecken is still out in front of this field. Fugate running in second. Steve Rubino, Josh Boyer, Herman Reach, your updated top 5 here after the brief technical issues we were having here on JTN. But nonetheless, Stecken is still out in front. Caution, though, is out here for the second time tonight. See Keith McLean with some damage on the 28. Don't know if that's from an earlier incident. Let's try to get you that replay. Oh no, it's Rob Heath going around here. In turn 1. In the number 7. Underneath that 69 of Ericsson. But Heath going around that Apple door and collision system. Ford. That brings out our second caution of the night here from the Nashville Superspeedway. See Stekenis coming down pit road, but Fugate elects to stay out, so some interesting strategies. Randy Smith also staying out in the number 10. Race off pit road there, a couple two-tire calls. Steve Grant gonna lead the way there. Ron Simpson, Ryan Johnson. All coming off pit road there ahead of Stekenis, who had led from the start of the drop of the green flag after qualifying on pole here tonight. So with Fugate now out in front here. Thanks. We got the stream back. Thank you, Greg. Looks like Irv Johnston out of this race. Left. That'll be your first car, or first truck, excuse me, out. Keith McLean gonna go ahead and get a wave around here. So getting ready to go back green, coming to lap 19 of 94 here from the Nashville Superspeedway. Coming back to green, Fugate with control here for the restart, and we're having issues again. Fugate with clean jump here down the back straightaway we go. Napick sits in second. Steve Grant third. Ron Simpson first on fresher tires, or Steve Grant actually first on 2 tires there in the 11. And the next 2 behind him also on 2. Stakenis the first one on 4. Back there in the 6th spot with a dive to the inside, trying to get to the left rear quarter of that 78 truck. Wasn't able to do it. Here comes Boyer now on the outside in the 41. That Rocky Boots Ford now going to take a dive to the inside. Got a good run down the back straightaway inside of the 78. He'll complete the pass there for 5th. Boyer loose up the hill a little bit. Forces Simpson wide through turn number 2. This for the 4th spot as Steve Grant goes to the lead for the first time tonight. So the 2-tire call paying off there for that 11 truck. Got him the track position and has enough speed. As again, we watch this battle for 4th as they're still side by side heading down into turn 1. Now Boyer able to clear. Now allows Ryan Johnson to get to the inside of the 25 of Simpson. Simpson going to have a little bit of momentum here off the corner, but caution out for the 3rd time tonight. Rob Heath, Keith McLean, and Dan Rubino all slow here in turn number 2. Something looks to have happened here with the 7. He gets loose once again on the bottom to the inside of the 69. Bino with nowhere to go. Heavy contact there. T-bones the driver's side of that 7 truck. Brings out our 3rd caution of the night. Let's go on board with Bino. Ooh, nowhere for him to go there. Dan Rubino now out of this race here this evening. So leaders all coming down pit lane here. A lot of trucks, though, staying out. Boyer will take over the race lead, so strategy's jumbled here at the start of this race for sure. So again, working our third caution of the night here from the Nashville Superspeedway. Appreciate everyone sticking with us through some of these technical difficulties we've had here this evening. Make sure if you haven't already, drop a like on the video, subscribe. It does a lot to help support us here on JTN. It also does a lot to help support these guys here at HOBO Racing. If you want to get in on the action or find out more, you can go to HOBORacing.com. We have that linked down in the video description below as well. Website's a great resource, too, for tracks and cars and mods and the like. So, again, HOBORacing.com to find out more. But, yeah, Josh Boyer out in front in that Rocky Boots Ford. Should see the pace truck lights go out here, giving us the 1 to green. So we'll go back on lap 27 of 94. Feel like we can go about 34 to 38 laps on a tank of Sunoco Racing fuel here tonight. So you're probably you're just barely in a window to make it on one stop from here. Yeah, I think he was involved in that first incident we weren't able to see, Greg. Though obviously not able to confirm that story, yeah. Green flag, we're back underway. Simpson around off of turn number 2. He's down below the white line. No caution just yet. Looks like we'll stay green. Stekenis there in third. Steve Rubino, Ricky Bumbalo, Dion Hinsky. Your top 5. And Stekenis has a lot of speed in that 31. He was your pole sitter here tonight. Side-by-side battle here between Sorensen and Fugate. Fugate getting a little loose there in that 9. That gives Napick an opportunity to pounce. It's for the 9th spot. Oh, we got one around right in front of the leaders. It's Hinsky. Big trouble here. Gonna have another little bit of contact with the 9. Multiple trucks through the grass. Caution, and we got one flip, and that's Randy Smith. That'll be the most lackluster call of a truck flipping that you're going to ever hear, folks. Let's get a replay of what happened. So Hinsky goes around. Oh, looks like Bumbalo. Alright. Here's what happened. Bumbalo gets loose here. Hinsky going to have nowhere to go. That helps correct the 85 at least. Yeah, here comes the 10 right into the 9. And some heavy damage there to Randy Smith's car. Or truck, excuse me. Ugh. Put another nickel in the jar. Rich Napick staying out under this caution. He'll assume the race lead. Race off pit road once again. Going to be won by Steve Grant. 2 tires. For the 11, took 4 the last time down, took 2 the time before that, and saw some success with it. Oh, man. So Rich Napick out in front of the field here. Folks, I'd love to hear out there, what's your favorite pickup truck out on the market today? It's a good question to ask. Always been a Chrysler guy, so I'm a little partial to the Ram trucks. That's right. That's the one, Greg. Although, I still remember growing up, my parents had a 90s Dodge Dakota. And this, like, wasn't like a cherry red. I remember it being more pink. But not pink, like girly pink, but like a red, like a little bit lighter of a red. Maybe it was cherry red and it was just faded. I don't know. Point being, it had this really cool pinstriping on it. And like petty blue, that was really cool. Loved the heck out of that truck. I wish I could find one of those trucks. Or if they would just bring back a smaller pickup truck, not the behemoth luxury vehicles that they are now. Just because I'm not a big fan of big pickup trucks. Yeah, exactly. They got the Ram styling. We had my dad had a Durango. Still has it. It's just sitting in the driveway, though. It hasn't run in years. An '04 Durango. Which I know is kind of controversial in some circles, but Rich Napick doesn't care. He's getting ready to lead the field back to green, coming here lap 34 of 94. Going to be 60 laps to go when we get back around. Green flag, we're back underway. Napick with a good restart there in the 6th. All of the top 5 well within each other. Sekenis made a move to the inside of Steve Grant. Steve Grant made a move to block to get to the inside of Ryan Johnson. Johnson now actually inside of Daryl Johnston there in the 77. That yellow truck holding on to the spot for the time being. Steve Grant now with Ascend, going to make the pass, maybe make it work on the outside, and he will. Now ducks back to the inside of the 77, heading down into turn 3. That's right, the leader is hauling some barrels of Maker's Mark. I don't know, eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking, Steve Grant to the inside of Johnston. They're still side by side here off of turn number 2. Put it back, Josh Boyer was able to get around Jeff Sekenis in the 31. Sekenis now trying to fight back to the inside. It's back there for 5th, where they're 3 wide for a moment. Bumbalo on the way outside, now outside of the 41 for 5th. Gets by Sekenis, and Steve Grant has to give up the challenge for 2nd as Johnston was able to hold him off. As a run this time down the back straightaway into turn number 3 does Grant. Now they're going to get to that right rear quarter, just barely might have slapped the wall just a little bit there off of turn number 2, or 4, excuse me. The 77 slipping up the hill a little bit. That gives room for the 11. You see Josh Boyer now to the outside of Ryan Johnson for 4th. He also completes the pass there, but kind of gets blocked in. That allows Johnson to make a move back to the inside. Now watching the battle for 4th. Johnson trying to find a way to get it done. Boyer, though, able to take the spot there on the outside. Now Ricky Bumbalo trying to do the same. And the 78 truck stayed out under our most recent caution. All these others have 4 fresh good years. Now that we've gotten 4 or 5 laps into the run, we're really seeing the wear and tear and the difference in tires. Sekenis now to the inside of the 78. Also have the battle for 3rd as Steve Grant has retaken the lead. We missed it. Well, you probably saw it out of the corner of your screen. We didn't focus on it. So here comes Josh Boyer looking for 3rd. And he will clear. I don't know how clear, but he was clear. Bumbalo now trying to find a way around the 77. See Ryan Johnson with a big move there. I think there was a checkup. I made him get out of line. See Rubino clip the apron a little bit there. He's going to be loose. He's going to go around here off of turn number 4, right in front of the field. Caution going to be out for the 5th time here this evening. On lap number 40, Steve Rubino around off of turn 4. So I'm just getting just a little too low there on corner exit. I think the first thing, let's go on board with him so we can kind of take you through in slow-mo here. So you're going to see he's going to get these left sides down there. Watch this truck. It's going to get upset. It's going to wander up the hill just a little bit. He's trying to save it. He's corrected, and now just a little too much correction, an overcorrection, if you will. And that 07 goes around. The back end takes off on him. Thing got really light. You can just tell by seeing it. And if we go back to real speed and incorporate the audio in, here from behind the wheel, see if we might actually get some of the wheel footage here. So we do have a visor cam with Steve tonight. Inputs are going to be a little over direct, probably. Yeah, maybe it did just go around on him. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Nonetheless, he goes around. He loses a lot of track position. No bueno. Full field down pit lane this time, save for Randy Smith and Ron Simpson, but would expect those two to come down next time by. We ran like 6 or 7 laps. We are under caution, so we should probably update that on our graphics. There we go. Tristan, it might be invite. I don't know. I'm not sure. So Simpson actually going to stay out here in the 25 unless he's just trying to lead a lap. Alright, KJ's got you covered, Tristan. Look at that. KJ doing the Lord's work out there. Thank you, KJ. Yeah, we don't normally broadcast with, like, cup races ending right around the time we go live, so, if you do have thoughts on, the Cup Series race today, I'd love to hear them. I'll, of course, give mine on the Fake Racers podcast this week over on Track and Turf, but always love to answer questions, too, when we're under caution. Sometimes when we get some of the lulls that would normally be occupied by TV or commercial breaks. But, yeah, can't thank you guys enough for tuning in here tonight. For what was a little bit of a longer Sunday, once again. You're a Cup Series fan? Ron Simpson, though, going to be leading us back to green. Be 50 laps to go when we take that green flag here. Stakenis now up into second in the 31. Pace truck is in. And back away we go. Green flag. We're back underway here from Nashville. Good restart there for everybody. As Kennis looks to make a move to the inside of Simpson. He's got Sorensen right on his tailgate. May have a chance here off the corner. Has to check up, though, as that 25 washes up the hill. Kennis had a little bit of a run. Didn't elect to take it. Could have been more aggressive with it, but still not even halfway just yet in this race. Elected not to. Thank you, KJ. I'm always, obviously we do a broadcast with a lot of leagues, and some leagues have different rules than others, so that's good to know. So yeah, Tristan, I would assume they'll reach right back out to you. Steve does a great job running this place, and oh, maybe a little bit of contact there. Sorensen all the way down on the apron as they'll go 3 wide for second. Simpson gonna lose 2, 3, 4 spots in the span of a corner. Herman Reese way up the track there in the 73. This is why this track's so much fun, folks. Oh, man. Herman Reese now trying to get the outside of Duke Sorensen for the 3rd spot. Wasn't able to do it just that time in that Cadillac. Ryan Johnson and Ricky Bumbalo battling for position here. This for 7th. Bumbalo holds on to the spot. I'm sorry, that was for 6th. Kennis has extended his lead over a half of a second here from the Nashville Superspeedway. Steve Grant in second, over halfway done in this one tonight, folks. JTN's coverage of the Hobo Racing Truck Series. And remember, if you want to get in on the action, head on over to HOBORacing.com to find out more. We also have it linked down in the video description below. Truck Series action here on Sunday nights, Cup Series action over on Tuesdays. Open setup for those. Thursdays with the modifieds. So a bunch of great racing throughout the season, then some separate winter series as well. Following the NASCAR Cup Series schedule. Of course, with select events right live right here on JTN. Watching now the battle for second as Boyer is to the inside of Steve Grant for the position. Grant going to have a little bit of momentum there. Able to hold on for now, but Boyer going to continue to try to work the bottom here. Seems like the class of the field trucks will be this 31 and the 41 throughout the second half of this race. Those two seem to have the most speed. And folks, if you haven't already, please click that like button. It does a lot to help support us. It boosts the video and stream in the algorithm. So if you're watching and you haven't already hit the like button, I encourage you to do so. It's a big help to me. It's a big help for all of our folks here at JTN to continue to try to build this brand and continue to do some great stuff with it. Again, watching Josh Boyer and Steve Grant get really close there through the center of turns 3 and 4. Still battling pretty hard for this position. And Stekenis right now in the race lead continues to extend it. It was 3/4 of a second last time around. This time around, waiting for timing and scoring to update, it's going to be a little bit more than that. Yeah, gained almost 2/10 that time with those two racing like that. So Josh Boyer now able to kind of solidify himself 9/10 of a second back of race leader Jeff Stekenis, who is free and in the air right now. Boyer now going to have to try to run down that 31 and also try not to use up his stuff too much. Expect one more pit stop before tonight's race is over, too. A lot of these drivers probably hoping for green flag stops. That's one of those big differentiators here, is how well you're able to do those green flag stops. So some of these guys really prefer to be able to do them. Some guys maybe not so much, but that time by Boyer was able to gain 3/10 of a second. So that 41 truck right now looks a little bit faster than the 31. Battle for third is Sorensen trying to find a way around Steve Grant. Again, talking about the different approaches to the corners there, you see the 11 kind of just coasts through the corner, for lack of a better descriptor. Able to kind of just stay pretty consistent through the corner. You see the 59, though, takes a lower arc, is really fast to the center, but then has to wait to pick the throttle back up. And that's kind of, when you take that inside line, you have to do that. Where if you kind of take that middle groove of the track that you're kind of seeing become the dominant one as the tires go away, you kind of roll out easy and roll back into the throttle easy to give yourself as much momentum off the corner as you can. Pack is a hornet's nest. Yeah, definitely be up front if you can. Ryan Johnson now to the inside. Duke Sorensen for fourth. That 78 drifting up on corner exit. Wasn't able to get it done, though. Josh Boyer has caught Jeff Stekenis out in front, or at least is there to be a nuisance, at least 2/10 back, almost 3. Fuel window is opening up for these drivers to make it to the end of this race, so would be interested to see what and when some of these drivers elect to pit, depending on where they are out there on the racetrack. Of course, an advantage to have newer tires towards the end of the race when the money window opens, but also you want to at least get closer to the front of the line for that window, if you can. If you're maybe one of these guys in this little grouping 3rd through 6th. Johnson back to the inside of Sorensen for the 4th spot. Completes the pass that time through turns 3 and 4. You Grant a little bit loose there with that 78 right on his tailgate. Johnson able to get to the inside on corner exit. But from everything we've seen, is Bumblelow tapped the wall there off of turn 4. Unless you're to the inside by the center of the corner, it's still hard to make that pass. 78 inside, but then center of the corner, not to the inside anymore. Oh, and he's got an issue. Big check up there for Ryan Johnson. That's going to block Bumbelow in there behind the 59 of Sorensen, who had to check up for the 78. As Bumbelow is able to get by Ryan Johnson, they'll be side by side this time through turns 3 and 4. Herman Reese going to try to draw closer to this battle as it's now 4th, 5th, and 6th together in a cluster. Don't know what happened there to the 78, though. Looks like he just instantaneously got loose, and he's still loose on the entry. Clips the apron a little bit. Have to be careful here to stop the bleeding if you're Ryan Johnson. If I'm the crew chief of or the spotter of that driver and truck, I would tell my driver, hey, we don't need to keep running this inside line. We're just using up our stuff. We're using up the tires. Run that outside groove. Get some laps in. See, Jeff Sekenis has stabilized the lead at 3.5 tenths. They're coming up on the back of the pack. That's Jeff Fugate, next truck that they're going to pass, and Keith McLean. Fugate in 16th. Last car on track right now. Bottom 3 have retired. Those being Rob Heath in the 7, Dan Rubino in the 44, and Irv Johnston in the number 49. But as Stekenis gets into traffic, this is kind of where we saw the 31 struggle with some of those restarts we saw earlier. Gets to the inside of Fugate as the caution is out. Oh, and a big crash off of turn number 2. Heavy damage to the 25. The 14 is bent up on both ends. Let's try to get you a replay of what happened here. Oh, man. Can't tell if Ron Simpson's coming to pit lane. He definitely was. Gets loose there on the transition. A very difficult pit road. And then here comes the 14. He's slowing up. Isn't able to slow up in time. Gets into the catch fence. And that brings out our our 6th caution of the night. Hit 25 again, going for a spin here. Just trying to keep that truck down there on the bottom, and then bam! Hit with the 14. Those are those NR2003 physics. Simpson, though, has retired. Inske's still out on track, so Simpson will be our 4th car to retire here tonight. But this could be the money stop, folks. Race off pit road, won by Stekenis. Randy Smith staying out in the 10, but would expect him to come down pit lane here at some point. Can't make it to the end on fuel. Don't believe, unless he was on pit road. So as we work this caution, folks, I'd like to remind you we got more great racing coming up here on JTN. Don't mind that. That's just hitting the wrong hotkey. Fuel Grade National Series right back here at the Nashville Superspeedway. Coverage kicking off Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Then Bomb Squad Racing action back with us Thursday, July 11th from Phoenix, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time. KJ will be there for that one for sure. And then the Autry Waits Memorial from the Texas Motor Speedway with our friends over at All Star Racing, July 14th, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Those races and much, much more are going to be live right here only on JTN, presented by SchemeHaven.com. KJ, take notes, man, because I love this track. This is such a fun track to race on. It's unique racetracks. Crazy opinion here, but unique racetracks are good because that means you can't take the same thing everywhere. Now, every racetrack's unique, just like everybody, but you know, the difference between Kansas, Chicagoland, and I don't know, Michigan now, with the way that the repaves have worked there between Kansas and Michigan, and you know, these like high speed 1.5 mile, 2 mile intermediates, whatever you want to say, they're very similar. Track like Nashville is in this really unique because yeah, it's 1.33 miles. Darlington's also a mile and a third. But they're so different. They are so different. In construction and banking, you know, I think we've seen that here tonight. These drivers definitely up for the task, though. Coming back to green with 24 laps to go here from the Nashville Superspeedway. Stakenis with control. Green flag, we're back racing here from Nashville. Boyer washes up the hill a little bit there in the wake of the number 31. See Steve Grant maybe having an opportunity to make a pass. They're still single file as we head down the backstretch into turn 3. And you can see the difference in opinions on how to navigate these corners with when these guys are getting back on the throttle. It's the throttle trace, maybe not the line. The throttle trace dictates the line more than the line seems to dictate the throttle trace. Other thing to note, too, is caution's out. Big crash there off of turn number 2. I believe that's the 69. It is. Erickson around. See if he had any help. A little bit of help. Here's the replay. Herman Reese right behind him. Erickson... I don't know if Herman just wasn't ready for that 69 to be that slow. Gives him a second pump for good measure. That brings out our 7th caution of the night. Really only got a lap on these tires. I don't think it's worth coming back down. You're good to go on fuel. Danny, you had a good qualifying effort. I think you just got caught up in someone else's junk there. Nothing to hate the racetrack for. Come on. Come on, man. It's like Herman Reese has retired from this race. talked about Ron Simpson retiring with that last caution. Whew. Come be... I can't, KJ. Always pit 4 tires and fuel up. Can't lose. That's a... I am not Chad Johnston. Who was obviously notoriously Kyle Larson's crew chief while he was in the 42 car. And is now Ryan Preece's crew chief. Shout out to Ryan Preece getting to top 5 today. Couple good runs. Zane Smith finished 2nd, I believe, as well. Tyler Reddick was angry after the race. Haven't heard his comments, but seen that fly across the news desk. Yeah, sounds like Nashville. The end of Nashville was not without controversy, as the fancy people say. Again, folks, make sure if you haven't already, drop a like on the video. Got 12 of you watching. Can't thank you enough. Please encourage you, as always, if you can go that extra mile, please click that like button. Does a lot to help support us here on JTN. I'll probably say it ad nauseum, but it really does. So can't thank you folks enough for tuning in, for supporting us however you do, however you can. And yeah, we're gonna have a fun one here to the end with Stekenis leading with. We'll go back green with just about trying to do quick maths here. 18 laps to go, I believe. So, yeah, 18 laps to go when we go back green with Stekenis in control. Your pole sitter, he's been the fastest truck here tonight. Second fastest truck right behind him, and Josh Boyer. Steve Grant has been a close 3rd here as well tonight. So as the pace truck is in, Flagman with green back in hand. We're having issues again. We're going to wait to see what happens, folks. Stekenis with control. Bino will never run another live race again. Bino? What do you mean you're never going to run another live race again? What's with that? Oh man, we are having issues on the internet side. I don't know why we're having these issues tonight, folks. Apologize to you for them. And it looks like we are gone again. Same issue we had earlier in the evening. So again, apologies. Don't know why this is happening tonight. If I did, I would try to fix it. So again, waiting. We'll try to get our cameras and our TV back up here as quick as possible for you, folks at home. So I don't know, storms must be rolling through the virtual racetrack or something. That's the story we're gonna go with. So again, trying to get these things back going. For you folks at home, can't thank you enough for tuning in, doing all those things. Thank you, Bino. I'm trying. All right, looks like we're getting back a lot quicker this time than we did the first time. I think it took us all of like 10 minutes the first time. Well, maybe we're not getting back. Looks like we're having issues still. This thing is not liking us whatsoever tonight, folks. Okay, we are back. 15 laps to go.
Drivers, to your cars.
Missing 3 is better than what we did earlier. That's the story I'm going to run with. Josh Boyer there in second right now. Stekenis still out in front. Steve Grant in third. Haven't missed anything here at the front of the field. You're good, Pino. I'm going to be overly hard on myself, too. Ryan Johnson making a pass to the inside of Steve Grant. Looks like Josh Boyer has disappeared for a moment from second. They battle for the spot. They're going to make some contact here down the back straightaway. This again, the battle for third. Battle for second, I believe now. See if we get another yellow. Who's going to have the best shot to get around the 31 of Jeff Stekenis. Yeah, so Josh Boyer did drop connection. Be out of this one. Again, this now the battle for second between the 11 and the 78. Johnson giving Steve Grant a mirror full of his Silverado right now. Now diving back to the inside, heading down into turn 1. Johnson gets to the inside, heading off the corner. They'll be side by side, wheel to wheel at the line. The 78 takes second that time. And into turn 3, see a big turn down into the center of the corner. Ryan Johnson clears Steve Grant for the second spot. Now Rich Knappich trying to find a way around the 11 for third. Steve just got a little too high up the hill that last time around. Steve Rubino has also entered the fray here. He runs 5th right now in that 07. See if he gets an opportunity to find a way around the 6 and the 11 to take that final podium spot. Knappich now to the inside. 07 closes up right on the tailgate of the 6. I think that might have disturbed Knappich. Might have tightened up that Ford a little bit. Just 6 laps to go when we get back to the line here. Jeff Stekenis is gone. He's closing up on Hinsky there in the 14. That truck, though, is missing the whole front end. He'll go on by with ease. Just 5 laps to go here from the Nashville Superspeedway. Guys all getting by the lap traffic there. Again, we're watching this battle for third right now. It's the closest one on track. Got 3 cars within 0.4 of each other. Steve Grant currently holding on to that third spot. 3 laps to go when we get the line for Jeff Stukenis, our race leader. He's about 2.5 seconds ahead of this battle. Epic again going to have an opportunity as the 11 gets really loose there on corner entry. Took a big arc into the corner. He's going to lose some speed here off the corner. This might be an opportunity for the 6 to pounce. There's 2 Fords trying to work together to find a way around that Lexus. 2 laps to go at the line for race leader Jeff Stukenis. He's out in front again by about 1.5 seconds over second place Ryan Johnson. That car that just went out of screen. Steve Rubino also fighting to try to find a way around the 6 for the 4th position. Now going to have a dive to the inside. Tried the outside, it didn't work. Dove to the inside, it didn't work. One to go, presented by Death Craver, now available on Amazon. Epic slow there off of turn number 2. That allows Rubino to get to the outside, but Bumbelow going to be in the way as they're 3 wide with the lap truck. Side by side, heading down into the corner. Off of turn number 4, though, as Steve Rubino takes over the 4th spot. It'll be Jeff Stukenis taking home the victory here from the Nashville Superspeedway, as Steve Rubino's looking for 3rd. I think he got it. Get a replay of what happened here off of turn number 4. Steve Rubino just able to get by Steve Grant, it looks like. Don't know what happened there with the 11. Don't know, you can't really tell. He just didn't have the momentum off the corner. Looks like. And Jeff Stukenis going to take it right to victory lane. So we won't have burnouts, and that's why we don't have the burnouts. We'll get to talk with him. We'll talk with the rest of our podium finishers here tonight. Get results on your screens in a few moments, folks. Again, can't thank you enough for tuning into JTN here this evening. Make sure if you haven't already, drop a like on the video and subscribe. Again, doing so helps support us so much here on JTN. Remember to also follow us on our social media at JoeTowNetwork, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, X. So we get post-race results for you. We're having so many technical issues tonight, folks. Oh my goodness. Gremlins. Absolute gremlins tonight. Okay, let's go ahead and head on down into victory lane and talk with the driver of the number 31, Jeff Stukenis. Jeff, you got a copy?
I do.
All right. Winner, chicken dinner. Fastest truck out there tonight. But at times in the race, it looked like you struggled with traffic. Is that analysis by myself correct? Was that 31 a little bit more of a handful in traffic, or was it more so just being careful and cautious?
Yeah, it's a little. When you get out front, it's just totally different. So I was just telling that to Ryan. I just was gone when I was out front, but in traffic, it's kind of a handful, and you're trying to jockey around to figure out where everybody else is going to be. But yeah, it's definitely different.
We made a big deal in pre-race, talked about different lines around this track. Now, you stayed kind of in that middle. It's the upper groove in what everyone's running, but it's the middle of the racetrack. You stayed pretty consistent with that. Why is that? And does that make it hard to make those passes on the bottom?
There's two lines that I use when I have fresh 4 tires. I'm arcing it way more in the corner and going right down to the bottom white line, and then kind of drifting right straight out of the corner. Whereas in like mid run to later in the run, it's feathering the gas or the throttle and just staying in the middle of the corner, and you get a better arc. But yeah, once you're trying to get around people and you're trying to play with the throttle, it gets a little difficult.
Well, Jeff, you did a great job here tonight. Lead a race high 68 laps of 94.
Sweet.
Look at that. Isn't that? Yeah, I think you led the first 15 and then probably like the last, I don't know, whatever the rest of that number is. Math is hard this late at night, but.
All right.
But Jeff, congratulations on a big win here tonight from Nashville. Are you playing the guitar down victory lane? You're not smashing it, right? Like, I mean, it's.
Yeah, no, I play it.
Okay.
I keep it hanging on the wall.
Okay. You got a couple of these guitars now too, I believe?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's it? Do you like this one more, or this one? I don't know. What's your favorite one? I guess.
Probably I don't know. Probably the Gibson.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Jeff, though, before we let you go, I want to give you an opportunity. You know, we got great partners on the truck, great folks behind you. The floor is yours. You know what to do.
Yep, all my sponsors and all the guys at Hobo Racing that I race against week after week after week. They're a great bunch of guys. It's funny. We sometimes just laugh and play around, and there's times we all get frustrated with each other. But all in all, it's really fun to hang around these guys and to talk with these guys week after week. I'd like to say hello to my mom, and she's probably watching online. But yeah, good times had by all.
Well, Jeff, again, congratulations on the big win here tonight. Dominant performance here at the Nashville Superspeedway. Always a pleasure to get to talk with you. Can't thank you enough for the insights into the race here tonight. It's taking some time to talk with us. And again, congratulations and have a happy 4th of July.
Thank you, sir. You too.
Jessica Kennis, driver of the number 31, your race winner here tonight from Nashville. Let's go ahead and next talk with our second place finisher. He's the driver of the number 78. Comes from 16th to finish second. Ryan Johnson. Ryan, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Second place run here tonight. How tough and then also on the other hand, how much fun was that battle with Steve Grant there for second place on that final run?
Yeah, I was talking to him about it. You know, we had a door bang there a few laps into our little battle, and glad it didn't turn out bad. But yeah, just an overall fun race. I didn't qualify well. I didn't turn any practice laps, which sometimes I don't, and just never could quite figure out the set. But ended up being able to pick up some track position. It was a track position kind of night race, so ended up okay.
Yeah, we saw a lot of calamity at the start of this race, chaos, with some cautions there, some short runs. Saw the kind of the track position flip a couple times. I believe a couple 2-tire stops that you guys used to try to get some of that track position. Did you have a lot of confidence that the 2 tires would hold on? It seemed like they did. So if you got a comment on that as well, but the 2-tire strategies there to try to gain track position, is that just something you identified early into the night as, okay, this is probably going to be my best way to put myself in a good situation?
I think I saw Herman do it the first stop. I believe, I could be wrong, because he started at the rear because he wrecked in qualifying, I believe. And so I tried it, I think, one time, and just to gain that track position back and hope for a caution. I don't know. Tires weren't that bad. If you're on a short run, you could still run decent laps, but I wouldn't want to have to do it on a long run if it, went long. So honestly, I don't know. So.
And you talked about, the setup maybe being a little bit of a handful tonight. Why is that? Just because we kind of saw a variety of lanes that everyone was running here tonight? Is that just a product of a flat racetrack like this Nashville Superspeedway is? Why do you think the setup was such a handful?
Well, what I was seeing, I would back off going into the entry, and it kind of wanted to dart low, and it would sometimes send me down to the apron before I would get back on the gas, if that makes any sense. I know you race, so
Yep.
you probably understand what I'm saying. So just couldn't figure out a good smooth line to where I was really happy with the setup, but it was what it was. So did what I could.
Hey, did what you could all the way up to second place finish from 16th, Ryan. Congratulations on the stellar run here tonight. Before we let you go, I want to give you the opportunity. I know you got great partners on the car, great folks behind you. The floor is yours. You know what to do.
Well, shout out to my wife, who always lets me come out and race nightly. She loves that I come and do this and have fun. Want to give a shout out to my boy, Isaac Johnson, which you may know. I think you do. He will be making his ARCA Menard Series start at IRP on July 19th, followed by ARCA Menard Series start on July 27th at Salem. So tune into FS1, root on Isaac Johnson in 34.
Very, very exciting stuff. I have seen that. Looking forward to seeing Isaac out there on track. Best of luck to him. Best of luck to you guys. Getting to go live out the dream, man. Congratulations on a great run here tonight, Ryan. As always, a pleasure getting to talk with you, pick your brain, getting your insights on it. Yeah, I can't thank you enough for your time. Have a happy 4th of July. Good luck there from IRP in Salem. And yeah, looking forward to seeing how Isaac does behind the wheel of that ARCA car.
All right. Read him on. Thanks, guys.
Ryan Johnson, driver of the number 78, your second place finisher here tonight from the Nashville Superspeedway. Let's go ahead and finally bring in our third place finisher. You got it there coming off of turn 4 at the line. Steve Ravino. Steve, you got a copy?
Yeah, I do.
What the heck happened there off of 4? Did you?
I don't know, Joe. I really don't know. Those guys, they had bad tires. They really did. For the last 10 laps, I was chasing, well, not chasing, but I was on Rich's tail, and I did everything to try not to wreck him. I think his tires were going too, and I guess my tires were fresher, so I'm not really sure.
Do you think it was just you're able to save them a little bit better? You're kind of after the spin, you're kind of deeper in the field. Did that maybe allow you to take it a little more conservative on those tires, knowing that you were also, maybe trying to stay out of that hornet's nest that the middle of the pack was?
No, it's kind of the opposite. When I was up front, I was saving them. I wasn't running as hard. I was just going with the flow there. But when I got put to the back of the field like that, I had a hustle to get past a few of the slower cars there and to catch up to the pack, and that's what I did. But for some reason, my tires seemed to be fine. But that last yellow actually saved me.
Why is that?
Well, I gained position and got fresh tires. So yeah, and we regrouped. So yeah, that saved me really.
Yeah. How much this race tonight? It kind of had two halves, right? It had the first half that was a lot of chaos, a lot of junk going on. Second half, 2 really long green flag runs and a pretty substantial one there at the end too. I think about 15 laps. How much of this race was kind of managing the phases, right? From chaos to long green flag runs to somewhere in between in that third portion or last 15.
Well, it was tough because everyone was complaining about the car being too tight from center coming out of the turn, and it was. You had to run a certain line, and it would help it, but then the car would get loose all of a sudden, and then yeah, it would, especially if you took 2 tires. If you took 2 tires at the end of the run, it got really loose, so no one was expecting that either. So I think that's where some of those spins came from, unless you were like me, hitting the apron and then gassing it and then spinning. So I learned not to do that. But yeah, I think the car was a little unpredictable on long run, whether you took 2 tires or 4 tires. Yeah, so I think that's really what delegated the race and made it the way it was.
Okay. Take the driver cap off then for a second, put the admin cap on. Does that unpredictability help you guys have, one, better racing, but also kind of help fine-tune your craft a little bit more than, say, if it was, I don't know, Kansas or Las Vegas, where it's a pretty consistent racetrack?
Oh, it makes it challenging, that's for sure. I mean, I always like the challenging type tracks. You got to dig a little deeper. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It really is. It is what it is. I mean, conditions are different on all different tracks, right?
Well, no, and I think this track too. It's so unique, right?
It really is.
I don't think there's another mile and a third flat concrete, just all the things that this track is out there, and kind of only having one of them makes it a fun race for us up here, for us watching, and all the folks at home, but also I think for a lot of the drivers, as you're saying. So I'm getting the feeling you had a lot of fun tonight.
I did. I had a lot of fun. Whether I got the podium finish or not, it actually, like you said, the track was, and we were saying this actually during the yellow flags, that the track was unique and it can be fun.
Well, a lot of fun here tonight, Steve. Before we let you go, I want to give you the opportunity. Obviously, you got a lot of great folks behind you. You do a lot here with Hobo Racing, getting everyone out to the racetrack, providing this great space for everyone to race. Start with the promotion of the league, however you want to do that, and then also, I know you got some great sponsors, some great folks to thank. So the floor is yours. Here you go.
Well, if anyone's looking to run here, we are looking for drivers. We have a lot of no-shows for a while now, so we're looking to fill the spots. So all 3 nights are open. If anyone, you can join on the website. Like to thank you guys, Joe, you especially, you and all of your crew there for the broadcasting. It's always fun, and like to thank the family and friends that are out there watching too. Hope they had a good time, and my brother Dan and the admins for helping me run the show here, and that's pretty much it. It's a nice hobby.
A lot of fun. Steve, again, can't thank you enough for bringing us out here tonight. It's always a pleasure to get to do these races for you guys here at Hobo. You guys always put on a fantastic show, no matter where we go. Always a pleasure getting the chance to talk with you after the races too. Give us some great insights there and whatnot, not only into the driver's seat, but also the overseer's seat, let's say. Congratulations on a great run. Can't thank you enough for taking the time to talk with us. Have a happy 4th of July, and hope we're talking with you again soon.
Same to you, Joe.
Thank you.
Yep.
Steve,
Happy 4th. Good night.
Steve Rubino, driver of the number 07, your 3rd place finisher here tonight from Nashville. Folks, that's going to wrap up our coverage here on JTN. Make sure, if you haven't already, drop a like on the video and subscribe. Again, doing so helps support us so much here on JTN. You can also follow us on our social media at JoeTowNetwork, X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're on them all. Go check it out there. If you want to get in on the action, you heard Steve say it. They're recruiting, HOBORacing.com. We'll reach out to him too. Saw Tristan in chat earlier in the night saying that there was some issues maybe with the sign up. So we'll reach out to Steve to get that ironed out. And again, HOBORacing.com to find out more. Sundays with the trucks, Tuesdays with the Cup Series, and then Thursday night modifieds, all right here at Hobo Racing. Folks, again, with all that being said, for all of us here at JTN, for Bristol Star Producer, my name is Joe Twansky, or my name is Joe Twansky. It's not changing, I don't think. Hope you guys tune in soon. Hope you join us next time. We're live Wednesday night with our friends over at Fuel, right back here at the Nashville Superspeedway. Can't thank you enough for watching, and we'll see you guys next time right here live on JTN. So long for now, folks.
3 wide for second, but Sean Whitehill is going to bring it home and win the race at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Ricky J closing up, off turn 4. He's going to have a run to the inside. He blocks into the grass. Checkers out. Hardy wins it.
Ricky, what's going on in your brain right now?
Yeah, putting on 4 big rubber shoes and 2 gallons of, 2 gallons, 2 cans of exploding dino juice here, Joe.
Down to the tunnel turn. These guys are throwing it through there and around to the back.
No.
The wall, as well as RJ Bishop. Down in front of Keith Hughes. Oh, no! Big hit. RJ Bishop. Oh, my God. Ricky
big
J,
wreck.
big crash into the wall.
Oh,
the leaders
no.
have wrecked. Ricky J is upside down. Magoo is hard in the wall. Tyler Mallon escapes with no damage. Everybody else in this main group, including Nelly, is junk.
through the north chute they'll go. The 24's into the wall, almost contact there. The 10 with the shallow entry into turn 4. It's going to be a drag race down the front straightaway. Folks, the 24's in the wall. They make contact, turn around. Napick goes on through the flip. Rich Napick's going to win the Culver Block 200 in thrilling fashion.